If you're not running webinars right now, you're probably leaving 6 figures on the table every single year, and most people don't even realize it. So let me show you what you've been missing and how to fix it. So why most people avoid webinars? Let's be honest, webinars have a bad reputation. I think why most people avoid webinars right now is that they feel outdated. I think webinars were a thing like back in the day, but it's not something that fresh and trendy at the moment. And they also sound like too much work. I think the way that people used to do webinars were really complicated and required a lot of complex funnels, automations, and tools. And you've also probably seen them done poorly, and that might be another reason that you just don't want to be one doing those poor webinars where people are already expecting that you're just selling something. And I think in the past, and still to this day, those webinars that typically were done were mainly just selling. So everybody just knows that when you go to those webinars, they are only selling. But the real reason they don't work for some people is because of the wrong strategy and not the format. And here's what most people miss. Like, I have been running the same exact webinar, really low effort, and pretty much the same content on it for over a year. And it's consistently bringing in the leads that we need for our team and to our team to be able to close and reach our sales targets. And we've closed 20,000 euros for 63 attendee webinars. So people also think that they need hundreds of people attending, but actually it's really simple. So let's say that you have just 50 to 70 people not even show up, but to register to your webinar. Like, I think most people would say that that is so low. Like, I had even one client who said that she didn't like to even run those webinars where there were really low registrant number because she felt it in her energy. But still, like, I have seen those low registrant webinars where you haven't used any paid ads, you're just getting people organically to join, and the show up rate isn't even 100%. And still, when you offer premium offers at 5,000, for example, even if you get 3 sales from that webinar, it would mean 15,000 for one live session. And I think that is quite meaningful revenue for most coaches, consultants, or expert entrepreneurs in general. So if you repeat that once a month, you're looking at 180,000 per year without ads, without funnels or big audience. That is really incredible. And if you repeat that once per week and you get that same amount of people joining, it would mean 780,000 euros or dollars for your business. I would definitely say that you're not just avoiding live events and running those webinars, you're actually avoiding leverage. Because if you think about the webinar, what it does, if there's, let's say, there's 50 people like showing up, for example, and 3 people of those convert into your premium clients, there's 47 people who didn't buy, but they know you. They have built trust in you because they've seen you talk for a 60 minutes or 90 minutes straight, and they know what you do. So when they are ready to convert, who do they come for? They come for you. And every single month you skip a webinar, it's a month that you are missing out on a 5-figure opportunity to make money, but also to build trust and to build your brand. Because I think brand is built in those unscalable ways, and webinar is like the most scalable way of leveraging your time, and that you are not just on a one sales call, but you are actually selling the idea and changing those limiting beliefs from multiple people at the same time. And I've run even webinars where there has been 5 attendees or less, 4, when we were just testing and building this new thing and we couldn't get people to register there. And still from those people, there were booked calls happening and coming to our sales team's calendar. That is crazy to me. You need to remember that those are real people who have problems and they have come there for a reason. People who join those webinars and come to your live, like even if you don't see the other person on the other side of the screen, and it feels like you're just broadcasting and there's nobody listening, but they are real human beings listening to you and you can influence them. And if you just do a great job, even if there's 5 people, 50 people, doesn't really matter, or 500 people, the results can be just amazing. So if you knew this strategy could bring you 100,000 every single year to your business, wouldn't you invest 5,000 to 10,000 to learn it properly? And at the end of the day, this isn't just about running the webinars, it's about building leveraged system. That is what I nowadays always think, that this isn't about an ad hoc, like, hey, like I saw this video with Marianne, like let's just run a webinar this week to get a few more clients this month. But this is actually a system that you can have in your business and use the same webinar again and again when you get it converting. And it becomes this engine for leads, for trust and sales. That is something that you should be thinking as a process and a system that you have in your business. And it's actually a valuable asset that you have for your sales. I have done a full breakdown of this webinar system, that what kind of webinar it should be in order for it to convert. But if you also want help building a webinar that actually converts without feeling salesy, check out my free training below the description, and that walks you through our Smart Scale framework, because you will learn how our clients are selling 5,000 to 10,000 offer with ease, even if they're starting from scratch with those offers. The link is below if you want to check it out, because I think most people don't struggle with coming up with the webinar, but actually coming up with the perfect premium offer that they need for it to convert, even with the low amount of registrants or people that showed up to your webinar. So check that free training below, and I hope this was valuable, and see you in the next one.